Hey guys, what's up? It's Joe Raiti from Raiti's Rides. I'm here long enough in my own home, not on a media travel trip this very split second, to bring you some exciting news. It's not some new minivan. It's not some new SUV. It's not even a new electric vehicle. What is it? It's the first time ever 2024 Porsche Spyder RS. That 718 Spyder RS GT3 engine screaming at 9,000 RPM with that convertible drop top. I have all the details and some special specs. Let's go ahead. Let's find out, is this the most epic of all convertible high performance cars? Let's dive in to this 718 Spyder RS. There it is in all of her glory. We are talking about having that mid-engine platform of the 718, of the Boxster, and now bringing it up to a new unseen level. Now, what's fascinating is that, of course, Porsche is all about history, and they've been doing high-performance sports cars for 75 years now. It's the 75th anniversary of Porsche with sports cars, and it goes back to the 1950s with the introduction of the 550 Spyder and 550 RS Spyder. Even James Dean used to race those back in the 1950s. Fast forward, when the Boxster first came out, it really was a vehicle for people to get into the Porsche brand at a very acceptable price point. And of course, Porsche is not going to rest on their laurels, and they're going to bring more and more performance each and every year. Now, looking at the vehicle, you could see that classic Spyder design. You have that nice tonneau cover for the soft top. You got your two roll hoops behind the driver and the passenger. And look at that ducktail spoiler. Simply superb with the way it looks. But what's amazing, just like the Porsche 911, just like all the other Porsches throughout history, not only is there that style and that form, but there's also the function of it. Now, you'll be able to get your 718 Spyder RS just like the GT4 RS itself. So the GT4 RS represents the hardtop. And we did a full review at Willow Springs, and I'll actually leave the review, if you hadn't seen that one, at the end of this video. So now what we're doing is Porsche is taking that concept and chopping off the top. But it's not just simply chopping off the top. They had to fine-tune the aero to work successfully without it being a hard top. But the lines, everything fits it perfect. And of course, with that mid-engine platform, you're gonna have that perfect weight distribution. And then if you're wondering, well, Joe, if I want my 718 Spyder RS, can I get it with the YSAC package? Yes, you can. And for those that don't know what I'm talking about, YSAC is the test track in Stuttgart, Germany, where Porsche does all of their private testing of their vehicles, race cars, and everything else. So when you want that high level of extra performance, you could go YSAC, which is what you're seeing in these video clips straight from Porsche. So what are the actual details? Now, if you are getting confused and you're saying to yourself, well, Joe, I was at a Cars and Coffee event just last weekend and I saw a 718 Spyder. Well, guess what? Your eyes did not deceive you. There already is a 718 Spyder. The 718 Spyder is the drop top version of the Porsche Cayman 718 GT4. So cut the top off, do all that special aero for the drop top, and that gives you a Spyder. That's the 4-liter at 414 horsepower. This car, underneath that tonneau cover in the middle, you're looking at the engine plucked right from the mighty 911 GT3 that's putting out a full 493 horsepower, 331 pound-feet of torque at 9,000 RPM. The standard Spyder does not have the same engine. Just like a GT4 does not have the same engine as a GT4 RS. The GT4 and the standard Spyder uses a 911 engine, current gen 911 engine. They take the turbos off, they sleeve it to bump it up to 4 liters in displacement. Still naturally aspirated. It redlines at 8,000 RPM, which is still very impressive, but this is the race homologation engine from the GT3, the 911 GT3, brought over to the Spyder to make it a Spyder RS. Now, if you're wondering, well, Joe, does this come with the 8-speed PDK? No. They do, just like in the GT4 RS and the GT3 and even the GT3 RS. I know it's a lot of letters and numbers, but trust me, stick with us here at Raiti's Rides. You'll pick it up very easily. But just like all those race examples, they only come with a PDK. So no manual transmission. You could get a manual in a 992 GT3 or a 718 GT4 or a 718 Spyder. You could get a 6-speed manual, but you cannot get a manual in anything that has the letters RS, which stands for Rennsport, or also Racing Sport. So in this car, you have a 7-speed PDK. And if you're wondering, well, Joe, why don't they give you the 8-speed? It's because it's lighter and it's stronger. So that's all about that track performance. And this thing is definitely one track demon of a car. 0 to 60 in about 3 seconds. And usually Porsche is a little generous with their 0 to 60 times. So don't be surprised if it's less than 3 seconds. I definitely won't be. Top speed, 191 miles per hour. And like I said, the horsepower difference, 414 horsepower in a 718 Spyder. Add the 2 letters, RS, you're getting 493 horsepower. Now, if you step it up to the YSAC package, you're gonna be getting the carbon fiber hood where it's shown through the paint. So you do get a carbon fiber front hood on the standard 718 Spyder RS, but on the YSAC package, you get that carbon fiber showing through. You have the carbon fiber extra large side air intakes. And of course, you're gonna get the special stitching on the seats that say YSAC with the actual track map on the headrest of those carbon fiber bucket seats. And then on top of that, you're getting that titanium exhaust. And I'm telling you right now, if you haven't seen the exhaust yet on a GT4 RS or this upcoming 718 Spyder RS, it's simply divine. It's taken right from that special edition Porsche 935 that they built. Very few examples back in 2018. They plucked it off that vehicle, and you could see there, one exhaust on each side, full titanium for the lightness. Now on the YSAC package, instead of getting some big wing, like on the GT4 RS, you get the ducktail, but then they add a carbon fiber gurney flap. So remember, Dan Gurney, the man who won the 24-hour Le Mans with AJ Foyt back in 1967, American drivers, American team, American car, American engine, the man who actually sprayed champagne for the first time after winning a race, which is now a tradition when you win a race, he came up with that gurney flap. It's an extra piece of material right on the back end of the ducktail spoiler to give you more downforce, but also not add extra drag. And that's the thing I love about the 718, just bar none, is that underneath you have special aero to help suck the car down. Of course, you're gonna have the functional scoops on the fenders. So what that means is that those scoops are not there for cooling, it's actually there for releasing the air pressure underneath the front fender so you don't get lift. We don't want lift, we want downforce. And that's what that does. You'll notice that the cloth top looks a little clunky when it's up, but this car is not about driving around with the top up. It's about driving with that top down. And unlike the regular 718 Boxster, you have to get out of the car to put the top down. It's a manual top, you have to get out to put it up completely and to put it down completely. You'll notice those beautiful wheels right off the GT4 RS. You can get the PCCBs. And if you're wondering what the heck is that, Porsche is all about alphabet soup. PCCB is those Porsche carbon ceramic brakes. That's an option. You also get standard with the RS, the Spyder RS, you get PASM. That's another acronym. PASM, Porsche Active Suspension Management. The car is actually 30 mil lower, 30 millimeters, and it also has adaptive dampers all four corners that automatically adjust. But you can see the functional aero at the front, including just like on the 4RS with that extra, canard area. You got the Nakaducts, which the whole purpose of that is to flow lots of air with very little drag. And then you got Racetex. Racetex is Porsche's Alcantara material. For the first time, the GT4 RS was the first Porsche to ever have that on the dash. The Weissach example, if you go Weissach with this vehicle, you're also gonna get the Racetex on the dash. Now, still getting the same great colors. Arctic Gray is probably gonna be one of the most popular colors on this, and you can go magnesium wheels. That's an additional extra option. But I have to applaud Porsche. They're moving towards the 718 becoming electric. The next generation, if you haven't heard, let me tell you, the next generation of the 718 is going to be fully electric. So this is your chance if you're looking for what I think, and as you could see, the pinnacle of drop top performance, this may be it. Inside, I guess if you wanted me to give you a zonk, I'll drop it right here. It's got the older infotainment system and the older instrumentation. I don't know how big of a zonk that is to you. To me, it's very easy to use. It's totally integrated, and I love having that nice analog tech. Very simple to figure out, smack dab in the center. You can see the sport seats, carbon fiber, full bucket seats. Of course, you could option in other seats if you wanted to, but definitely taking the magic of the GT4 RS with that high revving engine and putting it in the 718 to make this Spyder RS. So let me know what you think about this car in the comment section. If you're wondering, well, Joe, what about price? Guess what? I got it for you. Starting MSRP is going to be $160,000. Of course, that is base. And then if you have never built a Porsche on their website, I highly recommend, even for fun, even for educating yourself, it goes up from there. Most Porsche buyers on average spend about $30,000 in options. So I'm expecting this easily MSRP to be a $200,000 car, and then getting the allocation, that's gonna be the challenge. And then on top of that, we all know when you hear allocation, automatically you're gonna hear dealer adjusted markup. So that will be another interesting tale to see how much people are paying for this Spyder RS, the 718 Spyder RS. Gonna be available spring of 2024, and the first time the public gets to see it is at Goodwood in June. So the Goodwood Festival where they race up the hill, that's where Porsche is gonna unveil the vehicle. But if you like seeing these types of things where I'm bringing you the information as fast as I can, since I'm sitting in my chair in my office at home for just long enough, I'm actually getting on a plane in a couple days here. Let me know in the comment section how you feel about that. Let me know how you feel about this Porsche. Would you buy one? I know you're probably gonna say, well, I'll just go get a C8. Let me know how you feel about that in the comment section. But if you're new to the channel, you're on your way out, hit that subscribe button. Promise you it's worthwhile. Come back for more. If you are a subscriber, thank you for being part of the Raity's Rides family. Of course, I need to give it up to the best camera person in the world. She sets up a studio like this. Lickety split, 1, 2, 3. She loves Porsches. She definitely loves me. So thank you, Lori, for all that you do. And she loves all the subscribers out there as well. And just like always, guys, I'll see you on the next ride.